Oh, got a topic, you guys. I was looking. We talked about bullying before on this channel. I saw on an article where a 6-year-old boy was bullied, and it was several bullies, and they lit him on fire with lighters and gasoline.
God, I ain't ready that one.
6 years old.
That's a dirty shame.
And guess how old the kids were that bullied him and did that?
Teenager.
8 years old. 8.
They need their butt tore up bad.
Now this boy is gonna be like forever disfigured. He got like 30-degree burns. They had his face all like mummified. 6 years old, y'all. What is going on in this world that kids can do that to another child? You know what's going on in those kids' homes. I don't know what kind of charges they're gonna bring on those kids. They got to do something.
They go to prison.
8 years old.
When they get old enough, they go to juvenile.
So they did a GoFundMe. They were gearing to raise $50,000, and as I watched that video, they so far they got 75,000. So they're already 25,000 over because it's a long haul for him. How can y'all talk to y'all kids about whether they are the bullies or they're being bullied? Because they attacked him, threw gasoline on him, lit the lighter. Where did they get this stuff? Where did they get it from?
Where you think they get it from? They know their daddy got lawnmowers and stuff. They crazy.
8 years old. And one of the bullies was a girl. They said she was an instigator. 8.
These some younger. These sound like to me. Them some children in the household. Mm-hmm. Parents just don't let them have their way. They do what they want to do. They probably cursing their parents out or whatever. Maybe single mother, maybe single father. But if they got both parents in the house, come on now. Somebody got to step up. I ain't nobody saying you have to darn beat your children over the head with a darn pops and pans now. Mm-mm. But you got to discipline some kind of way. When we did wrong and got out of hand, we got our rear end up.
I was talking to one of my old ex-coworkers, and she told me that there's a law now that you cannot whoop your child.
That's a shame.
Unlike a law?
That's a shame.
And then you wonder why kids have no fear of adults.
You can't whoop
they have
child.
No fear of their parents. They have no fear of the teachers. They have no fear of the principal. They have no fear of authority because they figure, oh, they hit me.
I tell you what, they better go back and see what the God word say. You spend a rod, you're going to spoil that child. Every time you discipline them children. Right now, at our age of adult, God discipline us. That's right. But down here, though, he want the parents to discipline your child. They do something wrong. You put something on their ring, you ain't going to hurt them youngers if you know how to discipline. Like I say, you ain't got to hit them upside the head with no pots and pans and get the cursing at them like you crazy and using profanity language.
Don't be calling out of their name.
Some of y'all just want to say, go to your room and that's it. You got to do more than that.
You got some parents that be like, don't do that. And then the child steady doing it. Don't do that. I'm going to get
Put some fear in them. That way they know not to do it again.
Now, my mom didn't whoop us. My dad was a disciplinary. I'm just saying. But my dad had put fear in us. We were scared of our dad.
Not you.
Yes, we were scared of our dad because we knew what he was going to do to us.
Well, you sure obey me better then. As he put some fear in you.
What?
No.
What?
Don't be on no what. That girl will miss y'all.
My dad didn't play.
But you got
that's why to this day, I don't play with kids. I ain't playing with kids. Because you got to respect me.
No, the thing about it, though, you got to know how to kind of like, how you joke around a little bit and don't. But when you just joke too much with your children and that think they're your buddies, That's what you went to for.
I don't joke with my kids.
No, I ain't talking about that though. No. What you think your children your buddies? I ain't talking about that though, Sheila. You not listening to what I'm saying.
I hear you saying.
You can't treat your darn child like that's your darn buddy. Come on now.
You cannot treat that child your friend either. Y'all, you have mothers and daughters going out to clubs together.
No, I ain't going
out. Partying, drinking, just all that kind of stuff.
when we got old enough as a teenager and we want to stop by the club and just dance, we ain't drinking nothing but just dance. My dad ain't going there. He ain't go there. No, he sure didn't. My daddy knew his place.
Now my dad had a pool hall that my mom's dad left to him.
Place. He knew his place.
And my dad said respectable women didn't go to them kind of clubs, juke joints, whatever. My mama never went there. My dad kept her from there, and we would go there, you know, when it was daylight, because we know they had a pool room, we shoot pool and play the little arcade games and that stuff. But after a certain time, we had to go. We couldn't be there.
Yeah, because it started getting crowded.
It get dark, get men coming up, trying to drink, and oh my God, let me tell you, you see kids walking right here now accepting money from men. My dad did not allow his girls to accept no money from no man. You best believe, because my dad said, if they're giving you something, they're going to want something in return. So, if you guys got kids, don't allow kids to be just accepting money.
Society, though.
Money
That's
from
why.
men
My,
like that.
My sisters.
My dad didn't play that. No, you don't give my child
My
money.
sister accepted money from my
I give
uncle.
my child her money.
But it's the way it was given to them, though.
The uncles, that's different.
You know,
I'm
like
talking
graduation,
about
they
men on
did
the
good in
street.
school or something like that.
I ain't talking about relatives.
Well, I'm just saying.
Because, honey, my Uncle
sometimes
Charles, rest his soul,
sometimes
y'all.
you can have relatives acting crazy, too.
He was a drunk. He ended up going to AA, and he ended up, resolving them drunken issues. But when he was a drunk, every day he came up to our house and said, Uncle Charles, today my birthday. And he'd give us some money.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, Uncle Charles, it's my birthday. Every time he came over, because he was drunk, he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Every time he came over, we said, Uncle Charles, it's our birthday. And he'd reach in his pocket and give us some money. And then I remember one time he said, darn, every time I come over here, it's our birthday. Yeah, Uncle Charles, it's our birthday. He didn't know no better.
He ain't nothing.
Because he was so drunk. He's always had money, though. He was so drunk. Uncle Charles.
But being bullied,
but going back to
they got an esteem issue.
The bully,
you know?
the bully.
They got an esteem issue, something going on. They
pick on a weak
person.
person.
They don't know how to. Yeah, to pick on a weak person. In all gangs and stuff, they be doing certain things. Hey, you do this. You know, if you want to be in the gang, you got to do this.
Or
you
be popular.
Yeah,
be
popular.
Part of the group.
That ain't hitting
A lot of times,
I wouldn't.
When somebody wants you to be,
I wouldn't raise up around no gangs and stuff like that because I'm from a low country town and plus Dothan. I don't know. Dothan probably had some thing, but they wasn't that bad back in there. Not like they was in Baltimore somewhere in New York and stuff.
That stuff. But all I know is that, when you got kids that bullies, it's like, say like for instance, they want me to be a part of their little clique. And I don't want to be a part. I don't want not gangs or anything, just a little clique. And you be like, no, I'm just gonna do it. Then they be like, oh, obviously she thinks she's better than us, huh? Let's show her. That's how kids think. And then they start picking at you, making sure that other people see this so they can not be around you or not want to associate with you.
Things get out of hand. The one that really getting bullied, they don't let no one know. You know what I'm saying? And things just get out of hand and be too late.
Yeah, they hold it in.
Yeah, they hold it in. It just be too late. You can't do that. I don't know. They should have been like me back in the day. Had a cousin, me and him, boy. We just didn't. We done in first grade. We just didn't take no meds to shoot. I went through the integration, all that stuff. My brother and sister was the first blacks at the all-white school, and I tell you, it was rough, y'all, in the 60s. Getting called the N-word and this and that. Oh, I used to fight, hit, stuff like that, and oh, man. And then my mama had to come to the school. That
was in first grade?
They had to separate me and my first cousin because we didn't care. We stuck together.
Well,
but we wouldn't just go around, we didn't go around bullying people like they do now,
I guess my dad kept us really sheltered us because I didn't go through any of
that.
Well,
you ain't go through none of that stuff. It was dying down, girl, in the late 60s and 70s, but it was still there, don't get me wrong.
I'm pretty sure it was still there.
Called Earlene and my first cousin, they you know where Earlene and Annabelle live at now?
Yeah.
And where Joe at. Shoot, they went to Asheville. And we went right up there to Cottonwood. My daddy said, I ain't sending my children to Asheville, they going right up there. And that's why I enjoy walking to school. It wasn't that far. You know, we walked to school for
yeah,
what?
y'all school like right around the corner from y'all house.
Mm-hmm. And then
Our school was too.
Once the rest of the blacks started coming there,
We moved to Alabama.
they start winning. They start winning.
School.
You know, they start being good in sports and stuff like that. So I think I remember the first head coach Cottonwood had. Like Danny Nick's oldest brother, Howard. Howard graduated 1970.
Now those Knicks are my cousins, but they were his friends at the time.
Mm-hmm. They came from Columbia. Was it Columbia? No, not Columbia. Yes, it was. And Danny, man, me and Danny been knowing another man sister.
Y'all went to the military together.
Since the fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. That's a long time. Let me long time. Let me long time.
Over 50 years.
Let me long time.
I remember me and Danny had the first run that me and Danny had. You know how the little children are pushing and going on at the water fountain. That's the little run that me and Danny had. He was a short or something, and I used to push around on his little butt. He used to bow up down.
I remember one of my
me and Danny, we really ain't never had
one of my classmates, my girlfriends, that became my girlfriend. We were like enemies, and I didn't know why she didn't like me. Like she didn't like me. She said, "Sheila, I didn't like you because you had that long hair. You used to wear those the frilly dresses with the little belt." My mama used to dress me with those Bella darn dresses that had the skirts underneath it that kicks out.
Oh,
and it had the little bells on it. Go ding, 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 ding.
You thought you missed it, then?
No, I did not like wearing those because everybody used to look at me like, ooh.
Oh, you thought you missed it.
That's the way my mama dressed me.
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school.
Get money here.
And then when I was
Junior,
elementary school. Elementary school went up to 5th grade. My mama used to dress me in those dresses.
Junior.
Like I was going to what do you call those things? Miss America pageant. Like I was going to a pageant. That's the way my mama dressed me to go to school. I went in never to no pageant, but that's how my mama dressed me. That's why to this day, y'all don't see me wearing dresses like that.
This like the tomboy.
I'm a tom girl. Yeah. I used to climb a tree. I used to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
my mom used to try and make me like I was a little frilly. And I was never frilly, y'all. I wasn't into makeup. I wasn't into like all these clothes. Like I'm just a plain Jane. I just whatever's comfortable for me, whatever's in my skin, I need to be comfortable in my skin. And my mom I used to be so uncomfortable going to school. I used to be so embarrassed going to school because everybody else used to have on pants. I guess I could have been saying that I was being bullied, but I wasn't, y'all. But I'm just saying, kids could have bullied me just for the fact that my mama had me wearing these prima donna dresses. I'm walking around and you hear little kids going ding 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 because my little bell will be. One time I remember I took one of my dresses, I snatched the bell off, so it wouldn't ring every time. But anyway, y'all talk to your kids. Some kids that gets bullied are stronger.
Y'all gonna cut my darn throat.
They're stronger
Your nail
in their mind than some kids.
Boy, stop,
so just
boy.
talk to your kids.
Stop.
Whether they are the bully, if they've even been accused of it being a bully, then y'all talk to them kids. Make sure they understand that you don't pick on somebody because they're weaker than you, or I don't know. There's something going on with that bully. I know in my case, I did not want to be in Alabama, and so I did. I was a little bully, but hey, God turned me around.
All right, let me get ready for a little while. Come on, Red.
I don't oppose bullies.
Red,
I don't like to see people being bullies, and I'm not gonna watch another person bully another person. That's how I am now today. I'm not gonna watch anybody bully anybody.
Red,
and nobody should stand by and watch that happen.
Come here, Red. There you
go,
boy.
With that being said,
this is Red, y'all. Look at him.
Yeah, because he got a red collar, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and end this. Sheila and Frank.
Frank!
Feel free to read this article. Thank you.